So we're to answer in this video how Nebuchadnezzar responded to the warning of the dream, and when precisely do things go south, why do they go south, and that starts in verse 28. We read that at the end of 12 months, so for a year, Nebuchadnezzar did well. He heeded what was communicated to him in the dream, and he walked in the knowledge that God was the source of his life and of the life of the city of Babylon, its empire, and that it was like a giant tree whose very existence was attributable to God, that is, his greatness. And we can all relate to this, that we can do well for a while. We can have the right attitude for a while, but at some point we stumble. And Nebuchadnezzar, what was the context when he stumbled? Well, the context was that he's walking on the roof of the royal palace of Babylon. And you can just imagine that he's up there and he's looking over the royal palace, its tapestries and beauty, the colored gates of Babylon with beautiful creatures on the front of the walls and the gates of Babylon, the famous Ishtar Gate. And then you can, even if you can't picture that, you can imagine the wealth and the beauty of the hanging gardens that he could look over, and the water misting and so on, the irrigation and all this kind of stuff. You can just imagine then for Nebuchadnezzar that in that moment, he has just a welling up of pride. And he says, "This is not this great Babylon which I have built. I'm the source of it. I have built it by my mighty power," and so on. And he gets full of pride that he's the source of this. So what happens, of course, is in response, a voice comes directly from heaven. God speaks directly to Nebuchadnezzar so that he is reminded of the source of his life and of the greatness and life and glory of Babylon. And unfortunately, Nebuchadnezzar is going to be driven out and to live like as if he's not a human who recognizes God, who's made in God's image and knows the truth about God and the truth about man, but he's going to be driven out into the field to live like a beast. He's going to live, eat grass like an ox and so on. And because you see, if a human doesn't get called upward toward God and acknowledge God, then God will drive us downward toward toward the wild. And so this is what happens to Nebuchadnezzar. But what is being critiqued here in this story, in this chapter? What exactly is the evaluation God is giving of precisely of what particular cultural feature of Babylon, and what is the lesson in the end that Nebuchadnezzar takes away from it? Well, get digging, and we'll see you next time.